September 4th, 2021, Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361. I was just watching a different channel, and the newscast was talking about Tropical Storm Larry, Larry, and it came from it was just south of the Yucatan is where they said that it was starting, and then the development zone was going to be in the Gulf of Mexico. Now, I switched to ABC, which is Good Morning America, and all of a sudden, the exact same storm that the other channel was talking about, because here there's the number 2, the number 4, the number 5, the number 7. Those are the news stations. But on the second news station, all of a sudden it was much further out to sea developing this storm Larry. And on GMA, it's really interesting because it's got almost like there's a microbiotic protein strand, and when you watch it under a microscope, it's really, really interesting, and I cannot remember for the life of me at the moment because I don't have my medical journals that got thrown out, exactly what the name of this microbiota is. However, I'm watching the screen and it looks like different colors, and it looks like a protein quantum string. But you can see how many different computer models the humans are using, which is like no wonder why nothing has gotten done for the last 70 years, and it's only gotten worse. You need one computer model. It's the way that it's actually getting fixed, and that's it. Right now, they've got research and competing research, and they compete off of one another, and then nothing gets done.
Just outside of Atlanta, a completely
this
different
says
county where former District Attorney
DA
Johnson worked. Dan?
is
Thank you very
in
much.
part of
this case. Time now, though, to check the weather again. Let's go back to Rob, who's in Rybrook, New York. Rob, good morning once again.
Hi, Dan. Like I mentioned earlier, a beautiful day again for the Northeast, low humidity and some sunshine, but we are getting into the heart of hurricane season.
where he is, by the way, that Rybrook, that's upstate. That's what we call upstate. I'm like the little foot at the bottom that's not really attached to New York State, but it's just like I don't know what you call it. It's a landmass. It's just like, whatever.
And we have another major hurricane that's in the Atlantic right now. Let's show it to you.
So they're saying that Larry starts all the way out here and is going to be coming this way. On the other news station I just watched, they said that it was starting, where am I, on Yucatan Peninsula? If this is the Yucatan Peninsula, they said it was starting down here. So this looks like this is a different named storm or developing storm. But she said it was developing in this zone and then it was going up here. So that's a little confusing because they're saying that Hurricane Larry's starting much further out to sea, because you can see there's quite a distance from the Yucatan Peninsula to wherever the middle of this, what is this? This one's the Atlantic Ocean is at the moment.
And also another disturbance that is scheduled to get into the Gulf of Mexico. Hurricane Larry, 115 mile per hour winds at the moment, and scheduled to increase in intensity to a Cat 4 as it heads its way towards Bermuda on Wednesday or Thursday. Computer models.
I just find it so funny they use Cat. Yeah, hi Cat. I'm the double Aquarius, the Leo and the Tau. And now I'm a Leo, which is a double Leo. Alright, so there's different colors on these strings. All of these strings. And then, I mean, you talk about a wrinkle in time. You talk about seaming together space and time. If there's a tear, how would you quantumly string the cloth of the universe back into some sort of health semblance, right? All right, so the computer model is showing these, and then if you see how they all go in these opposite directions. Well, if these are all of my high leader managers that are supposed to be coming to one pinnacle, to one pressure point, understood, and fix, why the heck are they fanning out? And they come together for a little bit in like a stream, and then all of a sudden they fan out. That's a problem. Because that philosophy of fan out doesn't always work. Depends on what we're fanning out and what we're talking about. One size fits all philosophy.
Turning out to sea. This will create rough surf, but likely not till after Labor Day for the East Coast. And that disturbance in the Caribbean, we got a 30% chance of it developing and then getting it.
This is the one that I'm talking about. This looks like that microbiota, the protein strand, and I cannot for the life of me, specifically this one, where it comes down and then it has a curve to it. I mean, it's also just as it happens to be the sign of a Leo, but that's AP20. But there's all these are a different color. This is a lavender one. I mean, again, most of these things people don't even take the time to stop to recognize. And certainly if you don't have access to computer models to run a search to figure out what these are, they look like squiggly lines on the morning news. Nobody knows. They're like, oh, right, yeah, look at that, okay. I mean, I went to Cancun at one point. Star 1978, Star 8378, Nicole Cattaruzza, September 4th, 2021.
Getting into the Bay of Campeche, we'll have to monitor that into next week. That's check what's happening in the tropics. Time now for a look at your local forecast.
Thanks, Rob. Outside we have sunshine today, breezy conditions, nice, a high of 76, and a few clouds tonight, comfortably cool. Tomorrow, more clouds and sunshine, and a shower is possible first to the north in the afternoon, and then in the evening and overnight into early Monday, there could be a shower or storm. We'll shake those showers.
Only a 7-day forecast, not a 10-day forecast.
We'll be unsettled with some stormy weather.
It's a different
on Wednesday,
company or
and
section of the
temperatures in
weather.
upper 70s for Thursday and Friday. That's the Accuweather 7-day forecast. Have a great day.
This weather disaster hitting close to home for me. I'm just 5 miles from my house, which also got flooded. So we're dealing with that, garnering some more empathy for the flood victims I have to cover on a yearly basis. And Whit, I know you got flooded as well. It's been a hard go for all of us, but at least we're lucky to be alive, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, so many. It is incredible that.
Okay, I don't get caught up in that human crap. No, we're not lucky to be alive. Okay, so, let's think about this. All right, so I don't know what they taught in somebody else's school, but in the pubic school that I went to, the one in Queens, being Sacred Heart public Catholic school, and PS 31 where Nucci went, they did not teach anything about the weather. They did not teach anything about quantum string or pressure systems. They did not teach anything about constellations or the cosmos or the stars. They did not teach anything like health and science related whatsoever. When I went out to Cold Spring Harbor, they definitely didn't teach any of this stuff. It was the most pathetic, watered down experience. I mean, I wouldn't even call it education at this point. There was one challenging class. They said that biology in 9th grade, the AP biology, the college level biology, was going to be challenging. I felt it was more challenging than the rest, but it wasn't as challenging as Mr. Frank's physical, they called it physical education, but it was physics, because his physics principles were not right. And I sat in the class and I'm like blinking. I was trying to digest the words he was using for the process that he was speaking of. But the physics I know and the physics he was teaching out of the book were wrong. But I was trying to go along with some kind of human understate and vocabulary list of how he relates to physics, or how he was teaching the other humans to relate to physics, but it was tough trying to learn a subject knowing it was wrong, but in a different manner, just so you could be relatable. It could be done, and it was done. My whole entire education thus far. Star 1978, Star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza. Earth, Solar System, Milky Way, Universe, and galaxies spirally twisted and fractured at this point. Main reactor is off, and it is causing physical bone-crushing and bone-snapping results, although visualization from visual cortex looks somewhat stable. There is disturbance in the alpha Aquarius wave, where it goes like this in opposite directions sometimes for pixels for the visual. If I try to, I dart my eyes a lot, so this way my eyes are constantly moving to overcompensate for the visual spectrum of pixels that are dancing, so it's not so disorienting. Think about this. But where visual cortex is being ripped apart, but can be over, looking stable, the physicality beyond the physical sight realm, the one where it's more touch sensation of physics that your body feels in a different manner and picks up on in a different matrix. That one is definitely the one that's being manipulated, and the torsion is causing damage for sure. I even see the humans as they walk. They're what I call gait, which is like the way your natural electrolytes are stimulated in order to use motion. Those are off. Some people have to pull up by their hip to move. Some people are dragging their feet. Some people kick their feet out to this, almost out to the side, and then rotate them back in a motion that, it is so, their body movements are so, in the local area, are so painful to watch, because I know what I'm going through, and then I see them try to walk, and I'm like, that's not the way they were born, and that's not the way they started out, and that's not normal. It's just not.